Okay, we need to have a conversation about the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan and how some of the things I'm seeing actually concern me when it comes to Indigenous governance. So the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan has their own constitution and they have one elected representative per region.
I don't know. I just feel like we're being colonized again, and this is being thrown at us right now. This should have been, maybe we should have did this a long time ago. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
So, thank you very much for the presentation. And I did ask for this to be done out of camera because every time something's complicated, everybody always acts like they've never heard about this before, they've never seen it before, never, you know what I mean? This is the fifth presentation you've had on this. 5 times. You have one employee, and that's me. I've been working for you as your CEO, and may I remind you, you came to me and asked me to be your CEO 8 years ago. For 8 years, I know some of you are not as far along on the healing path as maybe you want to be, and I've understood that, the whole cultural part. But I'll tell you one thing. What happened at the MNLA is completely unacceptable. And there's 4 of you that are not right. You're the ones who stand up and speak right now about all of this. I'm telling you right now, you are the ones who are doing the bullying. You harass me. You try to intimidate me. 8 years ago, when you asked me to start this job, you had nothing. I brought in, and I never say I. That is not something we do within this government. We don't allow it. We talk about we because it takes everyone. But I did bring the right people, amazing people into this government that built this government so strong. Sherry McLennan, Wendy Gervais, Lisa McCallum, and Kathy Prudent. I'm putting you on notice. And this is the 5th time you've had this presentation, so I hope you're listening.
Can I get a motion from someone to move in camera, please?
Can I respond, please?
No.
Okay, so obviously that video is a lot longer than what's being shown here. I'll actually put the link to it in my comments, but let's talk about a number of the red flags that I saw throughout this exchange. So obviously the CEO has feelings towards the directors, and I am not at all here to undermine somebody's right to have those feelings. But this goes back to how complex Indigenous governance systems can be, because the regional directors are constitutionally recognized roles within the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. Since they are elected, they essentially carry with them a democratic mandate from their citizens to represent them. Which brings me to the second issue. The minute we got to the end of that video and a regional director was actually shut down from responding publicly, that's a huge problem. They must be able to respond and speak freely in governance meetings. This is one of the key differences in any governance structure for an elected official. They are not to be treated like staff or subordinates because that's not their role. Silencing them or shutting them out of any conversations actually undermines their constitutional authority and in turn actually hurts the representation that they're supposed to be giving to the rights holders, which are the Métis citizens of Saskatchewan. But that's not to say we all can't learn conflict resolution better or being able to come to the table and have conversations in a better and more democratic way. That can absolutely happen. But in no governance structure, especially in Indigenous governance, should the role of staff be there to put down or lash out or silence elected officials in any capacity. This is quite literally how you undermine the very principles of Indigenous governance and democracy in general.